I am Geoffrey of Vedrafjordr in the Dyflin campaign from Thrones of Britannia on legendary difficulty. I had started this campaign when the game first came out. You may remember I first started a Gwynedd campaign on very high difficulty, and after about a dozen game turns that became relatively easy, and so I started this campaign on legendary difficulty with one of the Viking Sea King factions. So the Vikings came to revenge apparently the death of one of their kings who was slain by the Anglo-Saxons. They came en masse from Scandinavia.
His sons laid waste to the British Isles, splintering the land and slaughtering all who opposed them.
At least that was their excuse.
The Viking horde swept west, an insatiable force that brought Alfred the Great to his knees.
Okay, so we haven't really interacted with the Anglo-Saxons, really. We're on Ireland, so we mostly have to deal with either Irish or Viking Sea King factions. If you remember, we have confederated all the Viking Sea King factions in Ireland except one of the factions that we're at war with, Vedrafjordr, I think. And the campaign, I found the old episodes, so I'm going to try and finish it. I need 3 more episodes to finish the campaign. And so it's durable, the episodes are there. I just have to make video clips. I find it positive. One of the good things about this saga title that you can finish campaigns in 4 hours. Of course, we're trying to finish the short campaign. So let's get on with the campaign where we had left it. We're in the summer of 885 AD, and this is the game turn. I'm going to skip the game turn, the turn change. And we're moving on to the autumn of 885 AD. So there's been a windstorm. The windstorm has been on the town of Patrick here on the Isle of Man. And the storm has damaged some cattle pens. That couldn't have been a major disaster, even by the standards of those times. So we're going to repair the cattle pens. Could be done in a couple of days. Then we have to find the cows that escaped. So here's our kingdom down here, and you can see we are controlling Vedrafjordr. The Vedrafjordr faction has migrated to Wales. They're still alive. They're fellow Viking Sea Kings. So we're going to take this noble, put them in Vedrafjordr. We're going to take the king out and put them in the border with Osraige. If you remember, Osraige, a neighboring faction, had taken Vedrafjordr, another coastal settlement. Very annoying, because we want them ourselves. As a kind of victory condition for the campaigns, we have to control a minimum of a number of coastal settlements, and those were 2 that belonged to our vassal, so they're taking it away from our vassal. This is all very annoying, but what can you do? The food situation is not great. We're running a deficit at the moment, and we are retraining these units, new recruits. We have recruited them in this town called Nass. They've been recruited by Geoffrey, who is the brother of our king and heir of our faction. And we can build something, so we can either upgrade the cattle pens in Tinbiamore, for example, or we can upgrade the lumberyard. And both will take 8 game turns. So I'm hoping to have finished the campaign by then, so it doesn't really matter. But if we haven't finished the campaign, this gives us 252 plus 252 coins from industry every game turn, and reduces the cost of building new buildings, the construction costs. So it looks like a good idea. We have to solve the food situation immediately. We cannot wait 8 game turns. So we have to take some settlements that produce food already. So here's a diplomatic situation. we are friends with Osraige,
Shake off the dust of the road and sit beside me.
even though they have invaded those two settlements we wanted. We are giving tribute to Maid, so we're just giving them a small tribute. That works against us because previously they were giving us tribute, now we're giving them tribute, so the tribute we get is reduced as a result of what we're doing, but we're trying to win them over. So if we attack Osraige, they will be on our side, and at the same time we want to upset Osraige. So we're going to tell them we want to create a vassal kingdom that will hopefully upset them.
We don't submit that easily.
Yeah, so if you get my plan is to upset Osraige so the other Irish factions take our side, because they're our friends, at least Mead is our friend. But I'm afraid what's going on, something here of proposing another insulting proposal. Well, maybe not that one. We'll find something else more insulting. Military alliance, that's insulting.
This is not the time for
Okay, so they're being insulted. So my plan is to win over the other Irish factions, but and to put them against Osraige. But my feeling is that they have a confederation. So Mid, at the start of the campaign, has the option to form a confederation of Irish kingdoms under their banner, and I think that's what they've done. You see, they have a lot of friendly Irish factions. Nearly all of Ireland is friendly towards them. Osraige at the moment is a little bit greyish, so that's good because they also like us. But I think they like each other more than they like us, and this is going to be a problem. So if you look up north, there are some reddish areas, so I guess they're not part of the Irish Confederation, so we may have to turn against them. I'm very annoyed about the situation with Osraige, but I may have to just let it go. I'm very annoyed that they attacked our vassal and the two cap those two coastal settlements that I wanted so much. But I guess we just have to snuff it. Bizarrely enough, they are somehow, they have a treaty with us of some kind, so they're on green on this page. Mid also have a treaty with us. So here's an army in Nass under Dyflin, and I guess it needs about 1 or 2 more game turns, 2 probably, to become full strength, to be fully recruited. Yeah, let's see what else we can do. I'm still hoping I can upset Osraige, although my feeling is this is not going to pay. It's very frustrating. I'm so frustrated to cap those 2 settlements. So I'm going to send this noble here to just trespass and annoy Osraige to see if we can somehow win the area, the other Irish factions on our side. Our king has also trespassed.
Move up. Our foes shall fall.
So annoyed. We've taken Kel, Maikaida and Vedrafjordr from our vassals and allies. As vassals, they count for friendly coastal settlements, so we don't have to capture coastal settlements that belong to our allies. They add up to our total tally, but they've taken 2 of them. I'm just so annoyed. So we moved on to the winter of 885 AD, and I guess I just have to snuff it and move north. So let's look at the tech tree. We just finished the civic technology. Just have a look. It was the military support, you see it down at the bottom on the left. It's finished. That helps training units. I have the option of those 2 units here, those 2 tech options. One of them will give us 1 new unit, the other one will give us 2 new units. I went for the one that will give us 2 new units. And next, I'm going to start moving our armies northward. While the winter is on. I'm not in a position to attack those northern Irish factions quite yet. during the winter. It would have been a way to launch a surprise attack, I guess, during the winter, but all our armies are down south. Let's see what the northern factions are like.
Have some ale. And tell me where you're.
Declaration of friendship. They find the proposal insulting. That's bad because they could have. You know, I'm worried that they might attack us if we attack the northern Irish factions. They are friendly towards them. That's so annoying.
Both my hearth and my ear.
The same is true about this faction. So we want to attack Ulied. But Ilek and Argyla or something, they are friendly towards them. That's very annoying. The food situation has gone to 0 because we took some settlement that gave us food. But the situation is not great with the food. So we take Ivar, who is our king's son, over to Cloynmore. And our king, who is in Ross, I guess we have to move eventually northward. Because much as it hurts, I have to give up on Osraige and focus on the northern Irish factions. Yeah, we could potentially start something there. It'll take 10 game turns to finish. And, I hope the campaign will be over by then. We don't have any other factions, any other options with food. So I took a break at this point. I'm going to restart the campaign just in a minute. You can see here how the situation was at the beginning of this episode and how things are now. I'll switch between the two. We're in the winter of 885 AD. So back to the campaign. So I have resolved to move all the armies northward. That's our king there. So we can forget about Osraige. Our king will move to Vedrafjordr and then go onto the sea. We get no winter attrition, being Viking sea kings.
You can rely on us.
And here's Dyflin, our capital, with Geoffrey, who's retraining his army. We have two other nobles. We have Fimkel in Vedrafjordr and Ivar is in Cloynmore. So Fimkel will also head north.
Enemy blood will flow.
Ivar has 5 command stars, that's pretty good. Fimkel has 4. So let's get them on their way. They will all travel by sea to get to Dyflin.
Enemy blood will flow.
Geoffrey is our west general. And here's the other faction that are this Viking Sea King faction. Vedrafjordr, who have migrated to Duet in Wales. They are controlling Menevia. If you remember, there was an event that made the Irish Viking Sea Kings our vassals, and I am suspecting if we make peace with Vedrafjordr, they will become our vassals.
My time is precious. Do not waste it.
So we offer them a peace treaty. They like it, so current proposal is excessive. We can create a vassal kingdom, so they're willing to become vassals. So that's very good.
I suppose we must accept this.
Yeah, so that means we've gained another coastal settlement, and the victory conditions for the short campaign is to have a number of coastal settlements, so that's in our favor. The situation, the fact that they migrated to Wales is going to turn out in our favor. So we're in peace with everyone now.
Enemy blood will flow.
Well, how is it going to flow? I guess it will flow after our campaign north. So I have just a little bit of money. I don't think it's enough to start a new building. Public quarter details are reasonably good, +3 I think it was, if I wasn't mistaken. No, it's -2 in Dyflin. That's not so good. So the food situation, forces us to disband a unit, but then that will lower public quarter, so I'm not going to do it. There are no alternatives anyway. I mean, it's not as if we disband this, we can recruit another unit, a better one. We don't have the option to recruit better units at the moment. So I'm going to keep all these units despite our dire food situation, in the hope of maintaining public order in Dyflin. So there have been Viking raids at Heiden, and there's been a war declared between Eilek and Connaught. And that's very good, because Eilek was one of those factions in Northern Ireland that I was worried might interfere with us if we campaign northward. But it seems they are busy now. They're involved in another war.
Show us the foe.
So, Ivar will now also head north.
The sea awaits! Shift the fleet!
Okay, Finkel is heading north as well, and here's our king now. He's gonna head north as well. Row us forward. The campaign design, the whole presentation is amazing. I find this game really very nice. I don't know why people, so many people at the time seem dissatisfied. There's a thing. Okay, we can upgrade the cattle pens there. Now, there's a thing about games and game companies. When a new game company turns up in a new game, like the Total War series, Rome 1, Medieval 1, Medieval 2. When this sort of thing happens, then everyone's excited, and then with subsequent titles, people just start complaining. And this seems to be a pattern with all gaming companies. They all face this kind of stagnation.
We pledge your service.
But I think this game is great. I really like it. This saga title, Thrones of Britannia. And it's very nice that you can finish the campaign in, let's say, one evening, if there are not too many battles. So, we're in the spring of 886 AD. This is a faction heir, Geoffrey, and Dyflin. Food is at 0, so the food situation remains critical or precarious, if not critical. New Irene, I'm pretty sure that means in Irish Sea. And we're off to the autumn, is it already? The autumn of 886. This is the Ulite fleet of the Ulite nation we are going to invade. And they have a fleet out at sea. Faction has been destroyed. It's an unpronounceable faction, so I'm very happy it's been destroyed so we don't have to pronounce it. We don't have to deal with them in the future, how to pronounce them. Another Viking raid. Dobgale. Who knows where that is? Somewhere in Ireland or Scotland, I assume. Okay, back to Finkel, who is now in Dyflin, and he has gained a follower, so I think we're going to increase the skill of his quartermaster up to 10%. Okay, we have the opportunity to build something new, so I'm going to build that new civic building that we can now build. And I am tempted, since there are all these other guys moving up north, I'm tempted to move Geoffrey with his army, the Valkyries, chosen, over to Nass, so he can be there in a position to respond to any incursions in case anyone attempts to backstab us, while the rest of the generals move up north. Yeah, I'm going to start this fist fight as this new civic building, which apparently gives XP to units, plus 20 XP every turn. So can you imagine? We can put there an army of 20 units that get 20 XP per unit per turn. So I'm very much tempted to start this chain, and this is what I'm going to do.
Ships at your command.
So the riders of the Bifrost, whatever that was, are heading north towards Dyflin.
Slow speed for docking.
So this is Ivar. So he's gonna camp outside Dyflin.
Long ships aye.
Long ships, aye. So that's our King Bada.
Shift the fleet.
And he will lead the campaign up north. And we'll lead Geoffrey to keep an eye on our dominion so that we don't get backstabbed by someone. Because this campaign is a legendary campaign, and I am a little bit nervous that things might go wrong. So we have a little bit of money, we can start something new. Possibly the brine spring, maybe not. I need food, but everything takes so long to get upgraded. So it's going to take 10 game turns, so that fishing port or whatever. But what can you do? Unless I can find another one. No. Linz, I think, has some possibilities, but Linz is too exposed. I don't want to build anything there because it could get invaded. So, that's the end of summer. We're going to move to the autumn of 886 in the next episode. Thank you for watching.